Working overnight in a maximum security prison changes how you see people. Most folks think it's the violence that gets to you. The fights, the screams, the threats yelled through steel bars at 3 in the morning. That stuff fades fast. It becomes noise. What doesn't fade are the nights when something goes wrong in a way you can't explain. By the end of that week, 3 inmates would be dead, 1 guard would vanish without a trace, and I'd start seeing things that weren't supposed to exist. I didn't quit. I didn't transfer. I stayed. And I think that's why it noticed me. I worked the night shift at a privately run maximum security prison. The kind of place where everyone inside was either serving life or stacking sentences until they died. My partner was a guy named Armin. Calm, experienced, impossible to rattle. If something didn't scare Armin, it usually didn't scare me. That night started like every other. We walked the block, boots echoing off concrete. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Inmates shouted insults and nonsense just to hear their own voices. Phil was at it again, screaming about being innocent. He always did that. We handled it the usual way. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. Everything felt routine. Until we reached Lee's cell. Lee was a lifer. Gang-related massacre. 6 people dead. No remorse. When we passed his cell, he wasn't lying in his bunk like usual. He was sitting on the floor at the back of the cell, knees pulled tight to his chest, back against the wall, staring straight ahead, not sleeping, not blinking. I stopped walking. Armin noticed inside. Ignore him. But something about Lee made my stomach tighten. I shined my flashlight on him. Sweat soaked his uniform. His skin glistened like he'd been running, even though he hadn't moved. His eyes reflected the light in a way that didn't look human. "Lee," I said, "get in your bunk." Nothing. No reaction. No blink. No breath change. It felt like he wasn't looking at me. It felt like he was looking past me. Armin muttered something and kept walking. I followed, but I didn't stop thinking about those eyes. After rounds, we sat in the control room, half watching grainy camera feeds, half scrolling our phones. The screens showed empty halls, quiet cells. Nothing worth noting. When my shift ended, I went home and passed out. I woke up to my phone ringing. The prison warden was on the line. "Lee's dead," he said. "They found him during dawn patrol. His throat was torn open. Blood everywhere. His bunkmate was still inside the cell, shaking so badly he couldn't speak. Guards said the fear looked real, genuine. Didn't matter. They blamed him anyway. That's how things worked there." The next night, I passed Lee's cell again. Cleaned, scrubbed, like nothing ever happened. The bunkmate was still there. His name was Walter. He was awake, crying. When he saw us, he rushed the bars so fast I almost raised my baton. "Kill me," he begged. "Please, just do it." Not escape, not fight. Kill. "It's coming," he said, spitting blood and saliva. "I'm next!" Armin laughed it off, said inmates made up stories to survive life sentences. But when we walked away, Walter started slamming his head against the bars. Not lightly. Hard. Later that night, the lights went out. Instantly. No flicker, no warning. The cameras switched to night vision, washing the halls in sickly green. Armin said the auto locks would hold even without power. I wasn't convinced. Then I saw Walter. His cell door was open. He stood outside it, smashing his head into the bars. Blood pooled at his feet. The strangest part? Every other inmate was hiding. No shouting, no movement, not a single face at the bars. Then Walter slowly turned his head toward the far end of the hallway. The camera feed distorted, like the lens couldn't focus on that space. Walter screamed and threw himself forward. His neck snapped. The lights came back on. They called it a psychotic break. Another death filed away. Before dawn, an inmate whispered to me as I passed. "It's not done," he said. "It doesn't leave until it's fed." He didn't name it, but later others did. They called it the stalker, something that hunted men like them, and sometimes guards. The nightmares started. Cold hallways, air bending where it shouldn't, something watching from the edge of vision. Then the outages returned. During one blackout, a massive inmate broke free and charged us. We fought. I killed him to save Armin. And I saw it again. That warped space at the end of the hall. The air folding inward, taking shape. Watching. After that night, inmates started killing themselves. 8 of them. Armin changed, staring too long at nothing, flinching at flickering lights. One night, he ran out of the control room without a word. He never came back. The warden said he quit. No notice, no goodbye. Now it's just me. I see it in reflections, on camera screens, at the edge of my vision. Sometimes it looks like the inmate I killed. Sometimes it's just wrong. Simon says I look tired, says I should take time off. I've requested leave. I'm still waiting. The lights flicker a lot now. The air gets cold even when the heaters work. I'm posting this because I need someone else to know. Because if something happens to me, if I stop responding, remember this. Some prisons don't hold monsters. They feed them. And I think it's hungry again.